Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of the Crown Talk with your Aqua Omega Alpha, Jim Savage in the building. And let's introduce the team. We got my man Seven in the building. What's good with you?
What's good? What's good? What's good? How's it going, beautiful people?
All right. And we got my man, Unapologetic Manhood in the building.
What's up, people? What's going on? How's everybody doing this evening? What's going on, K Boogie? What's going on, fellas? Yes.
All right. How's everybody doing today? How's everything going?
Good, man. Nice little rain, shower on us doing practice. Had to change my whole get up because we getting older. We can't stay in wet clothes long. we catch pneumonia and all that. So yeah, man, we did all that, and yeah, it's been a heck of a week.
That's what's up. What about you, Seven? You there? He's traveling right now.
I'm here. I just got right back into reception. I didn't hear what you said.
I was just saying, how's your day going? How's everything going for you?
Man, the day's been crazy. Dealing with the car company. First the car's totaled. Now it's not. Now it might be. Yeah, man, it's just been a day. But these Broncos about to play today and, make it all right.
I'm going to say good luck. I'm not going to say too much because my team is the Giants. So I don't want to, put too much emphasis on other teams winning anything around these spots. But go, team, go. Yes, I'm glad it's raining. It's symbolic for me for today. Wash away all the bullshit. We need some rain. Clear the air.
Yes, indeed.
The end of the day. But yeah, my day's going swell, man. A lot of thinking and just thinking about the show, thinking about things we could do to increase things and be better at what we're good at anyway. You know what I mean? So that being said, today's topic is entitlement. Kids, young adults being entitled.
My bad.
So good. So I'm sure everyone's or most people around have heard about 50 Cent's son, how he's complaining about the child support he's getting, $6,700, and actually he was getting more. Wasn't he getting 25 something a month? 25,000 a month, something like that.
25,000.
And then his baby mama or his son's mother got a little greedy, went to the courts, and I guess the courts were finally in the man's favor, and went to 50 and decreased it to 6,700. And now I guess his name is Marcus, right? Marquise is complaining about that, and not saying nothing to the mother about it, but that's not me. I'm gonna throw it off to Unapologetic on this one. Handle Mark.
Yes. Actually, 50 Cent brought his baby mother to the courts because, as he said he felt like he was, she was trying to railroad him. So he actually brought her to the courts.
Oh, okay.
And $6,700. So Mr. Marcus, he had an interview actually a month ago. This just hitting the social media airwaves today. For last week about him being entitled, but he had a little interview on YouTube, somewhat big time YouTuber. What K Boogie said, these entitled children need to nap time out and realize what time it is. And then again, we're gonna keep on emphasizing this. This is a 25-year-old man still bugging about child support that he used to get. So I want to play a video, but this like a self-explanatory thing that you can actually communicate with the with the people fast. But I'm gonna share this with you real quick. It was a let me see. Here we go. Can you guys hear me correctly?
Yeah, good.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
This is an interview.
Yeah, you gonna share it with me?
I'm about to share it. I'm about to share it right now. It's gonna go into a couple things that he did with a YouTuber called Choke No Joke. Some of you guys probably heard of him. He's somewhat of a big YouTuber. And point is, he's talking about how he felt like he needed more, and he's actually trying to tell the older man, Choke No Joke, how he don't understand, his means, because he's 50 Cent's son. It's all about somebody else's money and the typical nature that they be on. So let's get it going a little bit. Let's play this. Here we go.
No. I'm not saying that. So how you gonna put yourself in just where they can pay?
That's 50 Cent's son. That, as you guys can tell, the guy up top is 50 Cent's son. Look just like him, spitting image. But let's keep it going.
Say he did. But the fact is that he gave you.
If you don't have nothing,
It's echoing.
You know how much he costs to raise a kid?
Sam,
Yeah.
it's echoing.
Oh, it's echoing. Yeah, it was echoing before. I don't know why it's echoing.
It's if you see the you have two YouTube things on.
Yeah,
The one that you just uploaded.
right.
Keep that one. The one that you got it from, you have to erase that one, and it won't echo. Or if you want to go, if it's in your settings to go to echo control.
Okay. Yep. Sorry about that, people. But the point of this whole thing, they talking about, he's chopping it up. Choke No Joke, the older gentleman to the bottom left, he just letting him know specifically like how he sound and how he's talking about child support, that this kid was getting $6,700. If you guys $6,700 a month, $6,700 a month is $81K a year. That's more than the average family in America.
This motherfucker.
That's actually more than the average family in America, and that's free money at that. And he was just setting these entitlement, and this is a big picture frame. The big picture thing is that, and we actually chimed in about these young men and how they're being raised, and how a lot of our community has this somewhat bitterness to the fathers, because no matter what the father do, still have that bitterness when they have an overbearing mother. And as we talk about this all the time, we notice that from many of different occasions on how things are. You gotta have a background noise. Let me stop that. I don't know if it's coming from me, but many different occasions we see this all the time. 81K for a child is a lot. And he said to the Choke No Joke guy, "Hey, you don't know. You're not a famous person, son." And it's like, you think you're entitled to get all his money? You think to have all his money in the way you're acting? And for what I hear what I hear from 50 is that he did the best he can. He tried to get him hooked onto a sneaker business that his son wanted. He didn't want that. His mother talked him into doing something else. And she literally called 50 and said, "No, we're gonna go with bouquet business and stuff like that." And 50 was kind of weirded out about that because it was between him and his son. And again, how much a man or woman or any case that be on that same situation can take. And I was listening, and I really do. I was listening to Corey Holcomb, what he was saying about that. But I want you to. How would you feel if your son, daughter, growing up, saying you being as though you did everything you possibly could, and they saying you didn't do anything, and they letting it be known? How would you feel about that?
You want to go first, Ev?
Man, I'm just sitting here trying to understand the logistics of everything we just talking about. So this
Right.
man helped me unapologetic. So he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
25.
And he's getting something equivalent to spousal maintenance.
Yep.
And this is because the dad's court ordered, or is it just doing it to just as a father?
It's a court order.
Yeah. It was
So a
25.
court is ordering. How long is he required to pay for his son for a grown man's bag?
That's what I'm saying. He's 25. It should be over with, but not unless it's back pay.
He's not getting it anymore.
He's
And
not
that's where the bitterness comes. He said to other interviewers that how he's supposed to live. How did he supposed to live off of 6,700? How did he supposed to live? Past tense.
So I think the issue is, and I don't know enough about the facts, but if I was a judgmental person, I'd put the blame in 50's pocket, because there's no way I would just be throwing away money to some young kid who doesn't know the first thing about or how to respect money. And if anybody knows how 50 get his bread, 50 work hard for his bread. He don't work just to give his money away.
Right.
And
even for blood, even for your offspring.
But not that you. I don't know. Like, man. I mean, Warren Buffett said, "I ain't giving my kids this money."
Yep, he sure did.
Shaquille said the same thing. Shaquille O'Neal said the same thing.
He said he won't give his sons money.
So the concern is 50 gonna get murdered by his kid because his kid want his money? I mean,
nowadays you got to worry about that.
But because there's been a lot of kids of color, especially I was in Delaware and Atlanta, a couple other cities, they was killing their moms just to get the bag. And I'm only saying that because, bruh, if you going online talking about how you supposed to live, you 25 years old. You should have finished college prep school. You should have finished business school. You should have been up under your dad learning his craft. Or maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel about it. Like, yo, I'm gonna take under my dad's wing and let him teach me how to be, not to just give. And don't get me wrong, my son to tell you, I'm saying, son, you have a Bugatti, but what? My son to be the first one to tell you, don't let it own you. And it just sounds like that young man don't know who he is, and man,
he doesn't.
Because
he was actually framing it like this, and what people that disagree with him, the first thing he will say, "What's up? What's up? What's going on?"
Church in the building.
Church.
Yeah, man, it's been a day though.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Miss Lockhart in the building. Appreciate you for stopping through, love. Lady Navoa, Kate Boogie, thank y'all for stopping through in the chat. Hope you enjoy the show. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all just getting started.
A little bit, yeah.
Been on about 15.
Okay.
But the whole thing is that he when people would say you sound crazy talking about what you had as a child and how much you was getting, and he would say to him, "You don't know, you don't understand. I have a famous father. He should have gave me everything." And just like you said, 7, 50 Cent put him in, he tried to put him, for what 50 Cent said, he tried to put him in situations where he could be successful. But his mother was so overbearing that every time 50 was trying to give him something for success, like he was giving him layup, the mother would block the shot in reference to basketball, what have you. And that was the biggest obstacle in a relationship. And when you're raising what I call, and many people call, when you're raising a son husband, this is what you got to go through. As a if you have a kid and a mother, she always got to be in charge. She always got to have the say, no matter what type of relationship you're trying to have with your father. You always got to have that say. And that's what his problem is. See, and this was Choke No Joke was saying, the older gentleman, he was saying, when you have kids, you're going to understand. Because right now, you're thinking emotionally. You're not thinking, you're not thinking thinking in the way of, what if that was you and your kid's mother? And he kept on just using excuses after excuses, what many entitled people do, to get whatever they want.
I see a lot of things at hand in this situation. Mm-hmm. You have it coming from both ends, from him, from his son's perspective. It's coming from all types of ends.
Yep.
So he has his father, which is a big highlight in the world. He's always on the magazines, always on TV. So everybody's always talking about him, around him. And to be honest with you, as a son, we try not to act like it, but we have that void in us. Like, where's my father? You know what I'm saying? Let me learn from him. Once you get to a certain age, you're like, yo, I'm going to, I want to, go into this manhood. Like, where's my father?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so even when he said, I'll take your 6,700 and give it back to you just so you can spend the day with me. When he heard him say that, that's when I was like, you know what? I understand exactly where you're coming from, because it's easy in his situation, because it's not easy in all men's situation, but it's easy in 50 Cent's situation to kind of know that the mother's manipulating the son in a way, and to try to spend as much time as possible with his son so he can understand men do different things and things are different when it comes to a man, and get him on his head to know that maybe he might be manipulated in the household.
I don't know totally what the conversation is for tonight, but I would just like to say this. At the end of the day, what we fail to realize is every father wasn't designed to be in the household with every young male coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, some men are greater because their father wasn't there. Some men are worse because their father wasn't there. And then you have men that are living a balanced and decent life because their father wasn't there. There's so many different perspectives that you can look at it from, like with me, I'm kind of grateful my dad didn't show up. Like, my dad didn't play his part. I can't speak for the next man and what their dad did, because my best friend, his dad did everything. His dad was the man. Like, he was the first black fireman in our community, and stuff like that. So I was around some examples and some people that helped me become greater than I've ever been. But I feel like because my dad wasn't there, it helped me have the potential that I have today.
I'm kind of similar in that situation also, but just with like a little thin line also, because I was raised by my mother, which was, she learned her structure and her stability by her grandfather, which was a very structured man. So I kind of got the best of both when it came to my mother. Not really the best of both, but a mother and with a mother with some type of structure. You know what I mean? She just so happened to, pass away faster than she was supposed to. But, I feel that she developed that sense of structure and that sense of knowing what her kids were going to be like and she taught us exactly how we were supposed to be taught to, just because she probably knew she was gonna, pass on early, or that I needed this as a guy, as a boy, and my sisters needed this as her daughters. You know what I mean? So that's what I seen coming out of the family. But I also seen that if my father was there are some mistakes that I did make in life that I know I wouldn't have if I had like a role model or a man type around to teach me that this is what men go through when they go through that. You know what I mean? Which it's all right. It's all right that I did learn. I'm glad I learned the way I learned, because I wouldn't be the man that I am now. So that's what was church talk about. Like, there's people who do grow and become someone that they are because they didn't have their father in home. So I'm still grateful that I am the man that I am without my father. You know what I mean?
Like my great grandfather, he was my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, even when I look at it, I chose some paths and did things that was somewhat of a disgrace to him. He did a few things that I felt like was the same guy that I was, but in my day, like selling crack cocaine was a disgrace to my family because it was an epidemic.
Hold on one
He
second,
sold alcohol.
Somebody has the YouTube on is echoing.
Yeah, hello.
All right, it's good right
I
now.
don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, like I said, when I was a kid, my grandfather used to sell alcohol. When I was growing up, crack was an epidemic. So when I started selling crack, I became a disgrace to my family because of what I was doing, because we wasn't raised on those morals and values. But it was some of the things that I was taught, as far as being a hustler, or whatever. But I will truly say this. That wasn't the only thing that I was taught. I was taught how to manage money, how to understand life, how to be a working class guy, to go hard in the paint, to do all you can to provide and support your family. So I totally understand, sometimes we're built because of the things we go through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that one. I definitely
because of the things you go through, you become greater.
Yeah, well, my father, it was a situation where, I had my godfather, I had uncles and stuff like that. But I got to know my father once I, was going to college. He'd been around off and on, but once I, really off and on. But once I was going to college, but the man that he was, just like you said, Church. I'm glad he wasn't, there in my life, because no telling what I would have. Maybe I would have went to what he was doing at the particular time. Maybe I would have followed in his steps, whatever. So the Most High put him. As I get older, I started to think he put him out of my life for a reason. But it's because my mother was very young. If she would have made a better choice in a man, maybe I would have been like, okay, yeah, I needed that man. But the way my father is, no, I didn't need that around me growing up. So yeah. So in some cases, yeah. But most of the guys that I grew up with that had a father, he was they was, just like you said, your friend had a dynamic father, a great dad. He was a successful dad. Most of my friends the same way, successful. A lot of my cousins, their father was successful, and I used to think, how would he be? How is he? And then as I got older, again, I met him when I went to college, and then I started to really get to know the guy, and I said, oh, thank God.
Like with me, I never had the privilege.
Oh,
never knew him, never looked at him, don't even know what he looked like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't even know what his voice sound like. So with that being said, and I hear from my aunt sometimes, yeah, you look like your dad. Your dad was cool like you, or this and that, or whatever. But guess what? I would never know, because that's something I never had the privilege of seeing.
Right.
You know, I even have family members that, you know, they go out and they find their real dad and they find their family. Guess what? You wasn't concerned about me then. The type of guy that I am, I don't need to know you now. It's too late
Right.
for all that. You understand?
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be bitter if I did meet him today. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you. You helped me be who I am, but it ain't really a whole lot to talk about. What you gonna
Yeah.
do? You can't make up for lost time.
Not at all.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
even with me and my kids, I stopped selling drugs so my kids could see that that wasn't the life. I stopped being a street nigga so my kids could see that that wasn't the life. You know,
Right.
they mothers painted the picture, told the story, made them feel like I was who I was when guess what? The truth was never told. You understand what I'm saying? So I totally understand how your child can have a perception when I raised my son as a baby till he was old enough to know what was going on with my lifestyle in the street, and I gave him back to his mom. I used to have my son every single day on the block, in the streets with me, everywhere I go, carry him on my shoulder. When he was born, I used to carry him on my chest. You know how you had a little book bag with your baby in it?
Yeah.
I did that every day. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so sometimes people are painting a picture and try to make you who you're not. You understand? Like, when you do try to build that relationship, when you do try to go above and beyond to be everything that your dad wasn't, sometimes people don't get it. Sometimes people don't accept it and receive it. You know, so I'm totally aware, like, this is some touchy-feely stuff because for the simple fact is that a lot of people really don't know how it really goes in the black community.
That is true.
But
That's
but
very
what but the whole thing is, what if it's a situation like the 50 Cent thing? You have a father that's doing the best he can to be in the boy's life, as I said earlier, but you have a mother that's not doing her best to get in the middle of their relationship. You know, and that happens a whole lot. I mean,
Yeah.
what it sounds like, she actually chose the right person to mate with. 50 Cent didn't, what it sounds like.
right.
But you know what I'm saying? So, like, you get a lot of that, a whole lot of that, you know, and that's the biggest problem. You know, the relationships with the father that's actually a good role model, a good mentor. Not saying 50 Cent is a good role model and you know, he's a good mentor, but not to say he's a good role model. You know, that's to each his own. You know, you might
In
think,
his lane, he is.
yeah, you know, absolutely, yep,
Yeah.
and this is what we have to.
Well, I see it this way. I got due to I think due to who 50 Cent is and what he's capable of doing, there is a type of bigger fault on him because he's able to take his son out of that mindset. He has the capability of doing that, going to get his son whenever he feel like sit him down, talking to him, and
Hey,
getting his
hold
head
on.
out that mindset of
But
what
then
his
still,
mother manipulated him to. What he said? Go ahead, Church.
bro,
Go ahead.
you can't build it off of that. Because guess what? At the same time, you have to understand your child still has his own mind. Like, your child has a process, like him accepting and receiving you has a lot to do with the person that he looks at every day, the person he believes in every single day. You understand? Like, mom is like that superhero, dude. You
Well, I
gotta
understand that.
always remember that because mom is there when 50 Cent was never nowhere around.
True.
You
You're absolutely
understand
right.
what I'm saying? So you
No,
got
I
to
do.
be mindful of that at all times. Let me tell you something. One thing about children become like a chameleon. They'll act like you want them to act when they in your face. But how they truly feel, they express themselves out of your presence.
I agree with that.
There's a good question on board, y'all.
Yeah.
There's a good question from Miss Lockhart. What we got here? What do you think about the absence of Herschel Walker in his son's Christian's life? Do y'all know that story?
I can answer. I could kind of answer that.
Explain to me what it is.
I guess the son out of nowhere now saying that he wasn't in his father's life. I guarantee he probably has handlers telling him that, because now it's getting close to the election of his father. His father's running for, I'm not sure, I think he's running for senator in Georgia. Lockhart, you can let me know specifically what is he running for.
But guess what? That's still a form of manipulation and belittlement from that particular family, because guess what? At the same time, you got to be mindful of all that stuff. Sometimes it's to defame or belittle us as a people. People will use us to belittle us as who we are.
Facts.
Right.
Man, let me break it down to you. Like, remember when I talked to y'all guys earlier, right? They pulled one of my trucks today. So when the officer asked questions about my truck, and when he was talking about certain things, he let my driver basically know that somebody had basically called about my truck. So when he went to checking the truck and searching the truck and looking at the truck, see, a lot of people don't even understand that the police are looking at trucking like we drug dealers, because it's a new age hustle. So they looking for anything they can to put you off the street. If they can shut your truck down, it's just like they just busted you with crack. You understand what I'm saying? So why did I say all of that? It's somewhat like this. When it comes to us, they're going to do whatever they can to stop you, block you, hinder you, and hold you back from being successful. So guess what? As this person that's running in Atlanta, guess what? They using his situation from his prior life to belittle him as the male seed and the dominant one that they feel like is potential to win. See, right now, me being a young black man with a black business, been running for 7 years, the police officer had the audacity to ask my driver, do your boss have any other trucks? So my driver said, no, not that I know of, but I got 6 trucks. So why was he saying that? Because now you looking to stereotype every truck I have. You shut me down for 2 cracks in my bed for less than 2 inches. I had a white boy driving a truck for me for 2.5 years that the same truck got 50 cracks on it, and they never shut the truck down. So understand this. What they do to us in society, they make it hard for us to win. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to leave it alone.
You're absolutely right.
It's hard for us to get ahead. Like right now, even the situation with this election thing and how the people came forth. Guess what? They groom her for that. They groom the son for that. They build you and nurture you and help you become who they want you to be, so you're more effective, and they never look like the bad guy. Because there were rules and laws put in place for this.
Right. And that's exactly probably, so we agree that's probably the reason why 50 Cent's son feels like he's entitled to live a lifestyle that he didn't earn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and he feels he's entitled because it's people that's raising you. And then what's crazy is this next generation that's coming up, they're not going to even try to do, a lot of them are not going to be trying to do what men like Church is doing. Building their own empire, understanding
Man,
what
let
they
me
need
keep
to
it
do
real
to be
with you. I
successful.
apologize for cutting you off, right?
Yeah,
Hey, bro, look, my sons feel like they entitled to everything I got right now, or feel like they're a part of what I got. My son's grown. I got
Yeah.
a 27-year-old and one getting ready to be 30. Ask me how many days they came out here and worked with me. Ask
right,
me how
right.
many days
Exactly what I'm
they
saying.
supported and encouraged me. Ask me how
Yeah.
many days they helped me build my business. As a black male, guess
Yep.
what? If I did die and my wife did show up and give them some of my stuff, they'll squander it because they don't know what to do with it. You didn't come out here with me to learn and understand what really goes on with this.
Right.
So you haven't been structured to run a business.
Exactly.
But guess what? At the end of the day, I look like the bad guy.
And this is what
you choose not to be a part of what I have going on when I stopped the old life so you could see that it wasn't working.
and this is a big problem that I know, a big respect that I have for 50 Cent. He ain't want to go through that bullshit, that chaos that's going on, trying to tell him what he not doing, and he worked hard for it. And I don't want to sit here to be like the talking head for 50. I'm like the talking head for parents that's going above and beyond to be successful, from family to work, to an everyday process. That's who I'm talking for. And he said, you know what? I ain't dealing with this shit. And he disowned his son. He literally said, I don't. The interviewer said, do you love your son? He said, how can you love someone so many times that don't love you?
Facts. But that means he does love him. But what I was trying to say is also what you were saying, Church, where you were saying that nobody really respects the man no more, and there's nobody even pointing to the man thinking that they are able to teach or do right in life. So with the mother teaching him a certain way that she takes 50 Cent, which is all negative anyway, and then me saying that 50 Cent should have did a little bit more in his position, because for everybody to keep fighting black men, and you got your son, which, to be honest with you, is really not his fault. It's not his fault. He's privileged like that. He feels this way because he was never structured to even know what the process is for you to even be taken care of, or how hard it is to even build a person up to even take care of a fucking child.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Keep it real, right? Like, how can I understand how to love you when you were never designed to love me?
But as a father, it's not up to you.
How can I understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? How can I understand how to love you when you were never designed to love me?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I think you got to also consider too many of us are trying to be our children's friend, especially men. So the goal is not to be your friend.
I'm your daddy.
But
I'm the one that show up and say,
then,
yo, I'm not your homeboy, I'm your daddy.
But that's my point.
And they be like, what's up, my nigga? Nah, I ain't your nigga.
But that's what my point is. The goal is not to be liked or loved. Your job is to be the parent. And I think that's the piece that neither of us know. We can assume based on the narrative, but at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm just interested in being your parent. And I think that the mom and 50, you know what I mean? I think we're saying the blame goes both ways, but at the end of the day, we do raise our children saying we want you to have better than we had. We had knockoff clothes. Now we're gonna make sure you got name brand clothes. So I think it's an entire situation where we trying to be friends with our children and not be parents.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's why I said it's also a lot of fault in 50 Cent, because he does have to realize All that shit that's coming out of his son's mouth is full of emotion that he don't even understand because he's taught by the wrong side. He's being manipulated to be that type of person, not knowing the trials and tribulations that a parent does go through to even, especially a father, to even have your son around, to even be able to talk to your son.
But that
You know what I'm
goes
saying?
to-
And for
But-
even the best feeling in the world, is for you not to say shit, right? And your kid to look at you like they proud of you, or say something like, "Damn, I like what you're doing. I love you," type shit. You know what I'm saying? Best feeling in the world without you saying shit. Them looking at you, understanding that you have done something in their lives that they're proud of as kids. They're their kids. You know what I'm saying? So there is some fault on 50 Cent for not making it due to his position because he's capable of doing it. There's a lot of fathers that I see, they don't have that opportunity. They don't have that opportunity.
What is he specifically capable of doing?
Man, it doesn't matter what he's thinking. You can hate me, my son. You can hate me. So can your mother. I really don't give two shits. I want my son to be a certain way. I want my son to know who I am. And you're not going to go with that narrative because I want my son to know what a man is, how I became the man I am. So I'm going to make sure you learn that shit whether you like it or fucking not. So you can understand what a fucking man is.
He tried me.
But guess what?
listen,
Him doing
you
that
can throw money at,
him becoming the
throw
man
money
that
all
God
around.
has called him to be.
You can throw
You gotta
money all around.
understand, sometimes you can't
But-
push who you are or who you were on your kids. Your kids have no desire to be who you are. They don't have no desire. Some children don't have the desire to be or do nothing that you've done.
Some kids are not given the opportunity of having the desire. They're blinded
Yes,
by the
they
people
are.
around them. But they're blinded by the people around them.
But guess what?
And if you see
Just
that
like
as a
I told you,
father,
right? I was just listening to what you were saying, right? It goes back to what I said 5 or 10 minutes ago. How can you love me when you were never designed to love me?
it doesn't really matter to me. I love you. That's all that matters to me. That's my child. I love you.
So you would do any, no matter how the stuff that you go, and that's your thing. If you
Well, no. Explain before you tell me what my thing is. Tell me what you talking about.
But you would do everything that you possibly can, no matter how your sanity is, to make
No
sure.
matter how they break you down.
No matter how they break it down, you would do whatever you possibly
All
can.
his son is doing is talking shit. Snatch that little nigga up and make him learn a lesson.
Guess what? You
That's
in the
not
wrong
reality,
damn time. He's a billionaire. He can't show up and snatch nobody up. My lawyer just stopped me for somebody renting in my house and said, hey, they can sue you for everything you got. So imagine what 50 would go through if he snatched that little, like you said, up.
Okay.
Nah. See, here's the difference, though. If 50 snatch him up, it ain't gonna get to the media. It ain't gonna get to the police. It ain't.
You
Not at
think it ain't gonna get to the media?
Nah,
How-
it ain't.
Guess
how
what?
isn't it?
Okay, let me give you the example.
Wait. Let him ask
Family
him.
that I
How is
just
it?
tried to help. Can I tell my story? The family I just tried to help. I watched them kids getting out in the car every weekend, every day for 6 months, getting on the school bus, not washing their face, no nothing, paying for their family hotels so they can't sleep outside when it's 0 below degrees outside. They sleeping in their car. I'm feeling sorry, some type of way, doing all I can. And guess what? The people still try to make me look like a fool. I even got the boy a job. These boys know me from when I was in the streets. People don't care about you, man. They don't care. Even your kids don't care. I
Even
watch
your
my
kids.
sons. I do videos with my grandsons leaving church. I watch my own biological son throw subliminals right now, like I want a dad to him. The same thing 50 Cent going through right now. People don't care.
Sometimes a child it's a specific child that will want. I was listening to. I'm reading Little Libra. I think that's pronounced. Make some type of
Libra.
effort. It's some people. It's certain kids that even if you make some type of effort, they're gonna still show you vitriol. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna still show you that. And my grandmother, a woman, told me, even when me and my kid's mother was going through it the first maybe 5 years of us not being together, my grandmother said, my grandmother said this, man, you better wait until these kids 18 years old and do it from there. Don't you stress yourself out. You doing whatever you can. Everybody know you love those kids. My grandmother said, I didn't listen to her because that was I didn't want my kids not growing up without me, being as though me and their mother wasn't, we wasn't,
Right. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree with every single one of y'all. What y'all believe in, what y'all gonna do. You know what I mean? But just like what you're saying is something I would do in the mix of the tactics of teaching my son a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have to step away, that'll be a lesson. But my eye is always on my son and what he does. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, at the end of the day, your family matters. No matter like if they love you or not, you got a love for them. They're your fucking family. You can step away from your family. Yes, you have to sometimes because you don't want to deal with the bullshit. But you got to understand that you still got to have that same love, and they got to learn that same fucking lesson, no matter what, because that's your family. And when it comes up, remember when I step back, it's because of y'all, and you get to explain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So with my son acting the fuck up, he had the opportunity to snatch him. No, take this trip with me. You're gonna spend 12 hours on this plane with me until you understand where the fuck I'm coming from. On your spoiled ass on a plane with Versace on. You go ahead. Even if I got it, we go shopping. We'll go shopping. Go ahead, son. We'll go shopping. But you're gonna spend 12 hours on this plane listening to every fucking word I got to say, because I'm not gonna allow anyone in this life to manipulate who is gonna lead you to where you need to be as a man. I refuse, because we're watching too many men that even got that do the same thing. We're watching them do that. And then we complain about the motherfuckers running around. We ain't doing nothing about it. We're not saying nothing to those kids. So I'm gonna make that effort with my kids. And if they will see that effort. They will see that effort. No matter what it takes, whether it be around and not say a word. That's what they really want. They want to see you. Like Libra said, they want to see you make an effort. So that's where I'm coming from. No matter how the effort is, it's gonna be an effort.
Mm-hmm. Teaching
you, whooping your ass, you know what I mean? Lock you in the house, whatever the effort may be. You're my son, I created you. You're mine. Regardless. And I'm not gonna have my seed, my legacy, my name running through this world doing a dumbass shit without having a purpose of doing what they supposed to be doing.
May I say something though? The system is designed and set up not to allow you to do that the way you're talking. Yeah, it's easy said on this show, on this podcast, but guess what? Being totally honest and realistic, let's look at it from the Women King perspective. Right now, if you haven't been there from day one, from the very beginning, if you're not in a relationship with the mom or whatever the case may be, there's gonna be a big battle to you being and doing all of what you're saying. And I believe that everybody on this podcast, all the people chiming in and everything can attest to this. Because times are different now. I remember one time my wife got into a situation with her little sister, right? And the police and everybody came up. You know what the police told her? Her sister was out of line. And the police looked at my wife and said, "You're the adult in this. You need to be quiet and don't say anything."
Uh-huh.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So why did I say that and tell you that from that perspective? So guess what? When you put hands on your son and you just trying to be a real dad and show him, guess what?
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Locked up and they won't let you out.
But when I say,
and there is no rehabilitation, you have to understand.
When I do say hands, I do mean hands.
And
but I also mean if there's an opportunity not to use hands, I do have other tactics for me to get my point across. I'm not only thinking about hands. I'm thinking about discipline, mental discipline also, so you can understand this is not the route to go. My family is not going to go that route.
Yeah.
I totally
Plain
understand.
and simple. Because all it takes is one person to change a whole world. And if it is one of my kids, you remember what name and who taught you, so you can continue on that path and know why you continued on that path.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't allow you to fail. You know what I'm saying? That's how you look up to your family. That's how you keep a family, a community. That's how a woman will look up to you like, no, I'm not going to allow my family to fail. If I got to hang myself on the cross, I won't allow my family to fail.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. Whether you love from a distance, there's certain ways to get things.
Time perspective.
But the older times, here's the thing: don't we take old shit and make it better in this new world? We still take our old shit. Perfect example: things we love every day, music. Where the hell you think they got them old samples for to make all that money to make that hot ass music? Old samples, old shit that worked back in the past that they could change around, manipulate a little bit to make it work for the future. We still have the opportunity to use our old ways and humble our fucking selves and change it up. If you want something, get that shit. Figure out how to get that shit. Sometimes you got to change up. Not like I got to change for that person. You got to change for yourself. You got to adapt to the world now. You can't change the whole world by yourself. So you know what? In this meantime, until I'm able to change the world with the snap of my finger, in this world that I'm creating right now, I'm going to have to adapt to what it is to get my point across, to get my people on board. You got to be the bigger person most of the time. As a man, definitely. And that's what I've been learning. And I don't see no other way. Even though there's multiple ways, there's still the one way. Be a man with your family. Handle your business.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it's like I get what you're saying and all that. But we in a different society, as I always talk about. Society is very important. We could do all we possibly can for our son or daughter or children, whatever it be. But at the same time, again, it could be that situation where that kid, that's all that kid wanted. But it could be also that situation is that all that kid was want to get clout from you. Want to tell everybody on Facebook how poor of a dad you are, or poor of a mother you are, or tell everybody, tell everybody everything you doing the best thing you possibly can. You're trying to take the kids on a trip, no matter how old they are. They can be 15. You're trying to be a part. They can be 5, 15, no matter what. You're trying to do things to set some groundwork on your relationship with that kid. But, nowadays you have to watch it. See, again, with my son and daughter, they're very humble and this and that and third. But again, my daughter feel like her mom, she's like the boss of everything and this and that and third. I got to teach her when she's in my home, cut that stuff out. But at the same time, she thinks that. But she know groundwork that I made, as you talked about, the groundwork that I made. It could have been easy of me saying, you know what, with them first 5 or 6 years, her and I, their mother wasn't dealing with each other, and a lot of shit was happening. I could have said, you know what, F it, let me go make another family, whatever. But I did put that groundwork in.
Right.
But when I look back at it, I said, what if this wouldn't have worked? You know what I'm saying? How would I be? Would I go crazy? Would I lose my mind? Because again, suicide rate in men is extremely high. Yeah. Because of what they've been going through and how things been and stuff like, what they've been going through, who they try to prove themselves to, and all this stuff that all you had to do is just prove yourself to yourself and everything will come. But yeah, man, right. We have to watch that. It's a thin line.
Right, but you always got to think. You always got to think about the biggest goal. But I want to hear from Seven. So, what you got to think about this whole thing?
I'm just listening to the opinions. It's not that I disagree. But I think the mistake that we make is thinking one size fits all. Because I like how Future's talking about, you know, you do all you can. It doesn't mean somebody's gonna do the right thing. But at the end of the day, I'm going back to what it is. As a black man in America, I'm gonna kidnap your ass. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have a real conversation. We're gonna have a come to God moment. But unfortunately, too many of us just let our children run our lives rather than I run our lives. And I think that's what I like about your response. It's not, you know, he's like, I agree with everybody, but this is how you move. And I think that's the thing we got to learn as men. We got to move for what's best for us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, and be honest with you, listen to the whole conversation. One thing that kept hitting my head is these days, teachers will tell the kid, well, you feel like you're being threatened, we can get the police and social services involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't disagree, but we got to be careful on how we move, unfortunately. But some of us, you know, parents don't care.
True. But I'm going to give you an example. But take it in mind that, yes, I know I'm in a different time than it is now, but take it in mind that this is the effort that was made for things not to happen. So younger, my mother already knew that these kids were starting to call. I'm gonna say it's the white kids started it because they did. Oh, I'm gonna call DCF on you, mom, this and that, whatever, because they had no control of the kids. My mother knew that because she was involved in the school because she didn't want us to go have a fucked up education. So she made sure she was at that school. Yeah. So what she did do was realize they did that. She set us down, called a fucking family meeting, and in our faces like this. You are some badass kids sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you don't listen, so I have to whoop your asses, which y'all know already. But if you ever decide you want to call DCF on me, I'm going to whoop your ass. They're going to come get you. If I see you again, I'm going to whoop your ass until you understand that I'm your mother and want the best for you. So don't be like them kids calling DCF on me when I want the best for you. We were mad as shit at our mom, but we never.
See, that's an important point. You just made me remember because my baby brother said, I'm gonna call the police on you. My mom gave him the phone, took the skillet and the moon broomstick or something, just went to it. And he was talking to them and she was like, yep, I'm beating his ass.
Right.
I'm whooping his ass. But that was the thing that my baby brother had to realize when they came and got him. He saw how they treated him in just 24 hours. So he learned quickly.
Yeah.
He understand quickly. And I think that's the thing young people don't understand. If you don't call the police and if you're going that far, then go stay there. And I think that when my mom told us that, and he's seeing it for himself, yeah, his whole attitude changed. He was like,
but that all that it was, you know, it was somewhat great, you know, and some of us actually need therapy from those days of ass whoopings like that. But today is different. Like you know, it's super different. You just have to watch. You can't not let nobody kill your sanity. You can't. No human being. No disrespect, little Libra. No human being. You can't. This is the problem. The Most High is the only number one person you're supposed to be trying to get what we call acceptance from. You know, it's no way in hell that if my kids was, trying to disrespect me online, I'm gonna do whatever I can to still try to gain respect for them. That's fantasy. That's good times in the 70s.
Let me put a scenario in your head and let me ask you a question, because I want you to think of it in a whole different perspective of family, right? So say, as we see all these big opportunities, all these big ass shows or movies they're showing the world destructive and shit like that. You see families just trying to hold each other down. They don't care what your wrongs or rights is. They're just trying to survive. And even if your fucking daughter keeps falling on the ground, you keep running back to pick her up because you need your family to stay together, right? So say there's a scenario where that's what life is now. The world is going to be whatever it is, and you have to survive just with your family. So you got that one person that always the fuck up, right? There's always the fuck up. Not really the fuck up, the one that just don't learn quick enough. He's doing, oh, mom running away. He's going here and there while y'all trying to survive. Would you leave him behind? Or would you tie his ass up and drag him with you? Your seed, your son, your family.
When it's time for him, hopefully nothing happens to him. When he wants it, come with us.
He has no opportunity.
I'm not going to tie nothing.
Killing everywhere. There's people killing everywhere. You have to keep running to survive. You got to keep running to a certain spot to survive with your family. And if you want to survive with your family, that's what it is.
Hey, can I make a statement? To be totally honest with you, what I've learned though, the world system has supported so much wrong that you trying to do and get things right is not even an option anymore. What I mean by that is it might take more for my child because of some of my family's past experiences. But if you don't allow me to bring the rod in correction, or you don't allow me to address it because the government and the system have created these laws and made the system cater to my children to the point where I can't benefit for their lives from it. Because understand this, if I can't address my kids when they're wrong, or I can't help them grow, if I could do it when they little bitty babies, but as they grow into teenagers, if I can't address things, how can I truly be a parent? You're not making me a parent, you're making me a peer. Because guess what? Their friends aren't even allowed to put their hands on them. And now me as the parent being told that I can't put hands on them or I can't address an issue, you made me equal with their peers.
And that's the thing right there. Even working in the high school, you walk around, go to the basketball court, whatever. These kids be really thinking that you're their peers.
Exactly. They want to be respected like they're your age.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you gotta keep on like reminding them, and it's like,
man,
I will remind them.
I rode through a neighborhood yesterday. A little boy looked at me like he would tear my head off, and I know that boy won't be about 16 or 17 years old. And in my mind, I'm like, little boy, I'm one of the guys that paved the way for you. I'm one of the guys that you thinking you want to be like. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful and mindful of how the world system is not letting us address these kids. That's why it's no sense of respect.
So let's go above this. This is why it's so important.
So are we? The whole thing about it is we understand that, but are we going to allow? Like, we have kids. Do we want the same narrative to keep going forward? Do you want to be scared of your kids? Do you want your kids not to respect you? That's what I'm saying, church. But that's what I'm saying. You will not allow, because you smack the shit out of them till they understand where the fuck you coming from, because those are your seeds.
Man, let me tell you something. I got into it with one of my sons years ago, right? And my mom was there. I done him so dirty, my mom called the police on me. You understand? Because there's some things I'm not gonna settle for. It's some things I'm not gonna accept. I remember one time when I was growing up, I got out of line with my mom. My mama broke my collarbone with a blackjack. And I ain't have no dad in the home. You understand what I'm saying? So guess what? Some things you just cannot remove from the family, man. Because guess what? Even scripture says, spare the rod, spoil the child. The Bible says the rod and reproof gives correction, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame, man. Now that's what scripture say.
I hear that.
This is why, like, I wanted to add, like, the most important thing that we will discuss. When 50 Cent first had this boy, he had to be 19, 20 years old. You know, what the boy was saying. They was kids. He came out saying the father and the mother was kids, whatever. This is why it's so important to understand who you giving your seed away to and who you opening your legs to. Because damn the family structure if you have a person that grew up completely different than you and don't value the things that you value, but you having a baby with that person. That's the biggest three-dimensional thinking that you could do by actually vetting, by actually getting to know who the person you're having kids with, because a lot of us have kids young. A lot of us don't know how to be parents. You know,
Okay. You're proving my point.
The point is that you having a baby by a person that don't value you and you don't value her. That's the point. So that child more than likely is not going to value you.
Do you value that child?
You're going to value the child as much as you possibly can.
It depends. It depends on your structure, your morals, your values, the principles,
You're absolutely right about that.
Were raised.
Absolutely right about that.
So that's going to play a big part in that. You know, if you was raised on great morals and standards, guess what? It's just like this scripture says, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they are older, they would not depart from it. So guess what? You might get out here and act like a fool and cut up and talk your talk when you in the streets and act like this and this and that. But when the rubber meets the road, you going back to the basics. You were going back to the way you was groomed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you going back. If I'm telling you, man, people don't really understand this, man. Even with women, and you have the full custody of your child, but you have a man that don't want to be a father. You got.
But some of these women entrapping these men.
Yeah. That he don't
be mindful of that too.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't.
They already knew they didn't want to have no baby.
Corey Holcomb was saying this on Tuesday. Benzo, again, I don't agree with most of these people out that I 100% that I talk about, but I listen to them and I say, I agree with that. I like having conversations or listening to people that I don't agree with all the time at all. I'm not one of them echo chamber type of guys. I need to agree with everybody and that's it. But Corey Holcomb was saying, we don't want to talk about this, but let's talk about this. He was like, a lot of these dudes are having babies by women that they don't love. And they usually don't even love the kids that they having babies with that woman. They got to learn to love that kid, but they don't love that kid because they ain't the woman that they wanted to have a baby with. And I said to, because I'm a realist, I thought about it and I was like, and I was saying to myself, no, I love my kids. I don't give a shit what you're saying. But I was saying to myself, do I love my kids? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't love the mother. No disrespect to her. I didn't love the mother.
It's not the same.
You know what I'm saying? But I got it. But real talk, men are like even like animals, whatever. They have these babies by multiple female, let's say lions. They only protecting the ones that's in their, covered. You know what I'm saying? In their habitat, whatever. In their what's the word I'm looking for? But that's in their surroundings. They only loving those. They're not loving the ones that they had, a baby or like 8 miles away, but they just, something got lost, whatever. They're not loving that. I had to really think about that because it might have not, people will look at that like, what the hell he's talking about? But a thinker will be like, I don't know, he might be right. Because just like Drunk said, it'd be entrapment with a child. Oh, I got your baby. Oh, I don't want to have it.
But wait.
No, but that's that's the reality.
Wait, no, brother, no. I'm not gonna allow that. I'm not gonna allow that one because most of the show is supposed to be about accountability. Most everything that we do is supposed to be about accountability. There's no possible way that you could be entrapped unless you are asleep. Somebody takes your shit, rides it, and you nut inside without you knowing that you were entrapped. You know that if you don't want no baby, put a condom on. This and that. We all made the mistake. That's why we got not mistake, but we all did this. That's why we're in the position we're in now. We didn't. Most of us did not choose. We were irresponsible with our fucking penises, and now we got a responsibility.
You ever
right or wrong?
You ever heard of birth control? And somebody saying I have birth control?
Yeah, but you also have dick control.
You can put that in too.
We can, but you know what? But how many times? How unapologetic? I know you. How many times you gonna depend on a woman to do something for you that you want done? When you want it done your way.
With me,
when you want something done your way, are you gonna depend on a woman to do it for you or be able to do it the way you want it done?
No, but that's different.
But if you want to protect your seed, which we all should have, and I'm also saying this to myself, if we wanted to protect our seed, we would have strapped up and not been manipulated by big booty and ass, pussy, sex talk and all that bullshit. We would have been good.
Right. You're not going to be drunk. I agree with that, but you're not going to be disciplined if you wasn't learned to be disciplined on. You wasn't learned that. You wasn't taught that. You didn't value that. You didn't understand that. I'm older now.
You're right.
I understand now. I definitely understand now, but it wasn't. Nobody didn't teach me specifically how important my seed was. Nobody ain't teach, and many black men wasn't taught that.
Right.
So real talk. We get a certain age when we get in our 30s, we start to say, being as though there's a lot of 40-something-year-old men, 50-something-year-old men still doing the same shit they was doing when they was 20. But at the same time, it's a lot of men still was saying, oh, what the hell was I thinking? And stop doing what they're doing. So yeah, that's one of them things that you have to be taught that, man. Our whole goddamn what do you call that? Our whole culture is taught, slinging dick and how many bitches you can get. Excuse my language, ladies.
True.
That's our whole culture. So again, we have a matriarchy culture for the most part, and no men really taught us. We kicked the fathers out, so no real men said, "Nigga, you better stop giving your seed away." I tell young men this now. I tell young men, your seed is important. My son, my nephews, your seed is important. Don't just give it away. But nobody ain't teach me that.
How important is it to you? Is it important enough to know that you're a spoiled little shithead and I love you more than you love yourself to deal with your bullshit, snatch your ass up and put you in line because your mama ain't gonna do it and nobody else is.
Mm-hmm.
And you disrespected my family, you disrespected my last name because you want to go around on your social media. So like I was saying, y'all gonna snatch them little niggas up and not allow them to continue on with the bullshit. And that's what I'm saying.
I snatch them up mentally.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them. You gotta love them more than they love themselves. No matter
But
what
guess what?
tactic you use to get it done.
Hey,
You
hold
don't
on.
you can't just leave them.
Can I say something? Like right now, I was listening to Unapologetic, and I was listening to you as well. He said, "I'm gonna snatch them up mentally," and you was talking about snatching them up, doing whatever.
I
It
caught
may
that too.
But I want to keep it real with you. Like, first of all, you got to build a relationship with the kid, because if the relationship is not there, if they don't feel like they can come to you with anything, they going to the gang, bro. If they ain't going to the gang, they going to the gay lifestyle or whatever. You understand? They got to be feeling the love with you that they can talk to you about anything. Like, the relationship has to be built in order for that conversation to take place. Because you can
Yeah.
talk all day, but
Right.
they not gonna hear you.
But how do you do that if you give up on them?
To hear you, man.
But how do you do that if you give up on them?
We don't just give up on things. It's one of the things men would do all they possibly can. If they feel like they can't do no more, you can't
Nah,
do
we
no
gotta be
more.
real.
You're
Some
gonna
of
end
us
up.
haven't even tried.
There's ways to back up off him and then try.
They did that too. They did that too.
I don't know what they did or how they did it. Listen, if I'm rich like 50, due to my situation, I'm forced in a situation. I'm gonna make sure everybody's happy enough so my kids can be in my life.
Okay, let me keep it real with you.
Wait,
Like
no.
you said,
I
That's how
got
you lose everything.
right?
if I'm gonna be the type of guy that if somebody messes with my family, I can make a call and have you dealt with. If I'm gonna be that type of guy, then be that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Be that type of guy that protects your family. You're mine regardless. You're gonna follow these rules.
Hey, bro, you saying Rich like 50, but guess what? You don't know what 50 went through before he became 50. Like, at the end of the day, you don't even know his purpose or his passion for trying to build a relationship. See, sometimes it's a story behind the madness. It's a story
Absolutely right.
behind wanting the extra responsibility or wanting to be who you are in that kid's life. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
It could even be to the point where 50 want to break a generational curse that's been going on in his family before his childhood.
And you got to be extra careful today. You could be everything could be lost, canceled. No more whatever contracts you got with different cable companies is done, because now you're wilding out on your son and you're saying things that you shouldn't say.
Listen,
and
y'all
now
gotta
they don't want to do any
understand,
deals with you. It happens
That's
all
right.
the time.
Here's
They
the
want to
thing.
cancel.
I know.
But that's money over my family, though.
Huh?
That's money over family.
Right.
Fuck
And
that.
also,
corny.
that's also taking the worst case scenario. That's also y'all talk about.
You saying it?
Listen. Just because a motherfucker has to put family in line, don't mean they going out and growling, and yelling around the town. If you a man that know their tactics, there's ways for you to be calm, cool, and collective, and be able to get your point across, get people back to where they need to be. The moves you take, the minds you fucking use to get things done is important. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, everybody thinks I gotta beat you. You don't have to. You find a way. You can find a way any type of way, bro. Anybody can be on your page any type of way. You want your kids to be who they're supposed to be, bro? Force that shit the way you know how. If there's a rule that says you can't go that route, what do you think lawyers do? They find a way to go around that fucking rule that you got any way possible. Whether it be calm, whether it be silent, whether it be stealth, no matter what it is, they're gonna get it done.
I'm gonna tell
So if you don't see me for a year, and that whole year, I'm putting together a whole plan for you to be like with me and on my side, and you good and all that stuff. That's what's gonna have to happen. And the sacrifice from that is not seeing him for a year.
Do you remember when I told you that he was putting, and you I'm pretty sure you looked up stuff too. because we talking about 50 and his people. Because I could talk about at least 40 people that I know that's going through certain things like that. But there's 50 and his son. This man putting up. I told you at the beginning of the live, we were saying he put up everything that he possibly can to make himself. So if you don't want to be a part of my business, let's do what you like, son. Let me buy up this inventory of sneakers so you can have your own sneaker store. Let me do what? Your mother wanted being as though he didn't agree with it because he didn't like his mother chiming in on their conversations and stuff like that. Okay, son. She's talking to him. Well, we want to do this. He's like, he said he was like bewildered for why she calling him, saying what we gonna do. Being as though I told my son. So, but he said, okay, well, let's do that. He said, lo and behold, they didn't do none of it. So I gave him all them shoes. That was all them shoes, and he didn't do anything with it.
Keyword. I gave him and I gave him and I gave him.
But he set a ground rule, shoes store and everything. He set
ground rules. Listen, you can't set a ground rule.
Do you want me to sell the shoes?
A ground rule automatically when someone's not listening to you. You have to build someone like Church said, build it up, but you have to make the effort to do so.
That's what he's done.
You just keep doing it. Anybody it's your family, bro. At the end of the day,
anybody that's watching this, like if somebody's like really trying to kill your peace, I don't give a damn if they I don't give a damn who they are. You trying your best, get rid of it before you did something to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. Get away from it.
Well, we gotta specify who you getting rid of. Is it regular people or is it your family? Everybody. No human being is supposed to be put on. Like I told you, we said this a couple of times. Put on some type of pedestal. No human being. No. Who put him there? Who put him there?
Well, if we keep on trying to.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not giving.
Yes, you think
I'm spending money? You think I'm spending money on a lesson? No. What I'm doing is being there or creating my opportunity to teach so they will understand in the mix of them going through the dumb bullshit that's automatically going to be there.
But I think what's more important now, that opportunity is no longer there. And now that you've already marved and spoke on the family and the things that I've done for you is not good for you, now do what you want to do. And I hope you find success. I think that's where the lesson is.
That's what his lesson is trying to get to. That's what I think the nail that broke the Minnesota 50 Cent is very. We talking about specific people because this is a live about, but we could talk about other situations as well. But this specific thing, 50 Cent, I think the whole breakthrough, what he said on that somewhat document that he did, not a documentary, but it was like something. He said when he took a picture with the same person's son that tried to kill him several times, when he took the picture with that and then did some YouTube, some podcast with him, he said that's when he had to go his own way. So now I don't. He said so now I don't trust him. So maybe he probably would have kept on trying to get him to love him as much as he possibly can. He wasn't gonna give up on him, I should say. Maybe
I wouldn't say it's love. I think he was trying to give up not lose the relationship.
Yeah. So he wasn't giving up on him. Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you though. Let's just be honest. The motherfucker that shot up my mom's house, you know what I mean? And his offspring is still here. And my son jump on the video and be like, whoop, whoop. I ain't got shit to do with you. Fuck you. No disrespect, but you may be my blood, but that type of blood that'll kill you.
Yeah.
You feel me?
True.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Like there's certain things I would never do growing up. You know what I mean? Like if you know, then the answer is no. If you know, the answer is no.
It's a situation with a sibling that you did everything you possibly can to make build a relationship with your sibling. Specifically, I say myself, this game. You build everything with your sibling, and this sibling did everything they possible to damage the relationship to a point that now you put my livelihood in place. I'm going to have to love you from a
Distance.
super distance.
But I don't think you should even get a chance to get that close.
I
Like if I see you taking risks that can affect my relationship, my family, my ability to live a sustainable
We'll
lifestyle,
talk drunk.
it's done.
Yeah, I
It's
get
done
it.
before it gets out of hand. And
I get it. I get it. If you're pushed that far, trust me. Yes, I know. As a human being, but I would give my family extra grace. I am a big fan of stepping away from you for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to get your mind right. I need to get mine right. You're still a human being. Sometimes human beings don't be there for each other. But I do understand that situation. I didn't even remember that what he did with that taking that picture with that dude.
Yeah.
That actually is a reason, would be a reason why you probably wouldn't talk. I wouldn't talk to you ever again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Or
means you
I
don't
wouldn't want you to be around me.
Like you can't be around me because I'll punch you in your face. But I would rather you be around me quicker. You punch in your face, and we get over it sooner.
But can you get over that if you gotta look over your back?
But I am gonna punch you in your face.
Because Cain slay Abel. You feel me?
Hey, can I say something?
True indeed. True indeed.
Sometimes
I agree with you guys.
Come on, church.
Sometimes extra grace gets you killed, bro.
Facts.
Say that again. I didn't hear that.
I'm learning that.
I
Church.
said sometimes extra grace gets you killed. You know,
church.
you have to look at like when y'all talk about the story of Cain and Abel. You know, sometimes we have people in our families that have been envious from the very beginning. And we go above and beyond and we do everything we can to bring them up with us. Even the Bible says the poor will be with you always. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make a person rich, but if they don't want to be rich, you can show a person how to be happy, but if they don't want to be happy or content within themselves, you can't force it on them. Yep. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink, savage.
Yep.
Facts.
I can teach you to be free, but you can still be enslaved in your mind based on what you was taught, how you was raised, how you was groomed. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't leave room to elevate or to grow or to excel to the next level.
I respect that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it's another case of, you know, it's just this I keep on I don't know the Bible, but when I heard that you don't supposed to worship the flesh, that stuck with me for a long time. Because all we do has been taught to worship, you know, anybody that we feel like we love. You know, and you know, without even loving ourselves. There's a lot of cases. That's why a lot of people
we just weren't listening close enough.
Right.
Message.
You know, we wasn't. Yeah, that was a message that's going to always stick by me. Not worshiping the flesh, what have you, because there's so many different things that the soul, the human mind, it is that you don't know. You know, just like with a woman, she can. You know, love you today and not even can't stand you tomorrow. You know, it could be one of them things. And this is why, like, but we taught, like, and you know, I'm gonna make it a little funny. We taught you know, from the R&B song, all you gotta do is sing to her, she better.
Try that shit now. That used to be my MO back in school, bro.
Yeah, you know. That's not going to happen, you know, because she fed up. One thing about R. Kelly, he said when she fed up, I ain't never heard no song like that. Not in my generation. When a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you could do about it. Stuff like that.
Nothing.
That's telling you you have to be on your grind. You have to be on your purpose. You can't be trying to, make somebody love you. If they love you, it's gonna have to be naturally what you're doing, what type of guidelines you're setting for yourself and your family. If they're not doing none of that, if they're not trying to hold that guideline, it's time for them to go. It's time, it's time for you to, maybe one day you will respect what I'm trying to do here, but it's time for you to go.
I definitely get what y'all talk about, and I agree with everything y'all saying. I
Love
definitely agree.
has to be
It's just,
reciprocated.
I think it sounds good.
I just think, like, I give it different. I'm a different breed. I think that it won't take me that long. The way my tactics are to get somebody to understand, I'm like, it won't take that long. So I would make that extra effort. That's what I'm saying when it comes to 50. If he went about it a little differently, I think he would have got through to his son before he got deeply manipulated. Because his son is still reaching out like, nigga, I'll give you the fucking money back just to spend a day with you. That's a reach out for, like, I need your attention, bro. That's all.
I think he was clout chasing.
Hey,
Because right after that message, he said something different.
Cloud chasing or not,
totally
there's a purpose
honest.
for you to do
Yeah,
what you
kid,
want
all that I get the money back. Guess what? The money spent, man. He done played with a lot of that money.
Of course. But he's still, if he play with it and you want to be an asshole, I wouldn't be saying I'll rather get the money back to spend with my dad. He's crying out, regardless. My son, listen, and the only reason why I'm only saying this because I dealt with the same situation with my son. My son, I wasn't doing what it took to reach out to my son, and he ended up in a situation. Not really my fault that he ended up, but if I was there more than I was, he wouldn't be in the situation he is. You know what I'm saying? So he was reaching out and telling me how he really felt, and I wasn't really listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you acting like your mother, you being a spoiled, you act like your mother, not really listening.
But Savage, you got to look at you not giving your kids $6,700 a month.
No, they can't get it.
So at the end of the day, if we look at you look at T.I.'s son. Let's just be honest, bro. They look at this TV and they get confused about reality, and they think that come on, man.
True. No, you're absolutely right. But
do that in Dubai. Do that in Dubai.
Do that stuff in Africa, right? How can Shaquille O'Neal be a celebrity just as much as T.I. and all these kids? And you don't hear nothing about Shaquille's kids doing none of that dumbass shit
because
it's still in the parenting, no matter what.
Absolutely,
no matter you are as a celebrity, it's still in the parenting.
Shaquille was in his kids,
but teach them mother. I don't give a damn, yo. I'll get you whatever you need, but you need to learn some structure.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
I don't like crying, babe, because you crying for a reason. You're spoiled. When you reach your point to know what you know, and you still doing the tactic of whining and crying about it, you being manipulative. You're not playing me, dog.
It's mind-boggling that is because you would think T.I. and he's very intelligent, but you would think T.I. because he seemed like he has a kind of a patriarchy household, but when you look at even when he had the T.I. thing of his family, you could see that he really didn't run that house, like because they was treating, especially the younger ones. He seemed like his older ones are more like grounded. The older ones, like of his first baby mother, whatever, they more grounded.
Yeah, he parented them. Yeah, you can tell he parented. He didn't baby them.
And he was much younger. T.I. my age, and he was having kids young. You know,
he was parenting then.
Yeah. With the three that he got with his tiny girl, it seemed like they a little more ratcheted. Tiny, her daughter, her daughter got a baby by Pookie and Ray Ray. Like how that happen? You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like how does that happen?
Because they put all their business in front of the cameras, in front of the media. All right, T.I. been with Tiny since her daughter from another man, since that girl was like 2-3 years old. And it's like, what did she see in you that your older kids seeing you now?
it's like that. Like, why you got your son, going to jail for being chaotic and this and that, the third. These kids killing now, even stars. Like, your son could get seriously hurt, but you going after people for your son, that says a lot. And that's another.
That's what y'all are actually agreeing with me. It's just y'all not thinking about it the way I'm thinking about it. Y'all thinking that I have to force my way into my kid's life and rah this, rah that. No, I have to observe. I have to be there. My whole point is there to at least be there. To
you
observe.
Have a different mindset, though.
Yes, very different.
You have a different mindset. A lot of people can't do what you. A lot of people have your mindset to do that because they get overzealous and they're ready to destroy when things ain't going their way.
But my whole thing is this. I'm a human being. We all know. I don't know why we're here, this and that, whatever.
Right.
But if I'm gonna make these actions and I'm acting out, I have to remember that I've acted out before, so I won't act out again and get the same results. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm doing that for a long period of time, I can develop tactics to make myself be around. So I know what my son and my kids are doing. So when it gets that bad, I know I can't force it in there, but I'm going to slowly make shit pop off for everything to be what I need my family to be.
Right.
Whether they know it or not, whether they fucking fight against it or not, I'm going to be the one to love. And everybody thought that way, everybody be working in that way, and families will probably work even faster and better if everybody had that same thought process.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm gonna, I need to beat your ass or do. I'm saying I need to make it work, find out every which way possible, because it is my family, to make shit work for the better for the future.
Yep. I agree with that. It's just the fact that you have to have the right mindset for that. Like, if you're doing it in a correct way, you have the right mindset for that. If you're doing it in a way that you feel like everything's gonna be cookies and cream, everything's gonna be a rainbow, then now you're effing with your sanity.
Exactly. Can I say something? Hold on for 1 second, Savage.
You go ahead, bro.
Unapologetic. You touched the point right there on the very end when you was talking about keeping your sanity and all of this and that. You got to be very careful about choosing your battles, bro.
Yeah, man.
Understand this. You jump out there and you trying to save your family and you ain't mentally sane or you ain't equipped for the job or the battle that you're setting yourself up for.
Facts.
All I'm going to say is, it's your job, and the world system have taught you this. The world system have taught you that. Let me be realistic with you. When I came home from prison in 2007, bro, my family was very frustrated with me. And let me explain to you why. Because I wanted to get myself together. I wanted to get my life together. I wanted to get my mind together. If you ain't together, how you going to help somebody else?
Yeah.
How you going to show somebody else how to live and be productive and you don't have no balance to your life? You got to understand it's all about priority, balance, and order. And sometimes you can throw your balance off by putting extra weight on you that you ain't ready for. You know how we was talking about equilibrium and different stuff like that? Guess what? Don't mess around and throw your equilibrium off grabbing people that you think you're supposed to take to the promised land that ain't even ready for the neighborhood, for the hood.
You're absolutely right, Church.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. But here's the thing that I'm speaking on. It's not a day, hour, minute, year that goes by that I'm not learning and teaching myself about myself. So I do take on those projects that it's too heavy, to realize it's too heavy, to realize how much I can take at a certain amount of time. So when I'm talking about going after family, my thing was, like you just said, if you're not right, how can you get your family right? So my choice was getting the fuck away from all the problems and getting me right so I can come back and get my family right. That's what I'm talking about, the steps. The long steps, the strategic steps. You're not even like at the even time you're not even teaching your son shit, he's still talking shit about you. But guess what? In that meantime, while he's talking that shit, I'm taking the steps and I'm getting myself right. And as I see them talking that shit, I was in another road to take. So when I do come back, I can overpower that stinking ass road that you talking to. Get your ass to the plane, spoiled nigga. Let's talk about this.
Hey,
I'm
bro,
prepared now because I went through the steps to get myself right,
let me say something.
to get everything else
You can
right.
go- all right, let me use myself for an example. I took the steps. I did the work. I got my life together. I did everything I could to be the example, right? So I stepped up and I went and hung out with my son for a day, right? And guess what? My son, we went out and I was talking about God and I was spending time in the neighborhood. I was doing all the stuff that I do. You know what? And you know what my son looked at me and said? He said, "Yeah, Dad, we had a good time. All of that was real good. You did
Yep.
an amazing job."
Mhm.
He said, "Now guess what? I want my old daddy back." And I looked at him and said, "Well, too bad. You won't never see that nigga again." You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about, and it was a point to me saying all of that. Sometimes we can create the monster without even realizing we created the monster.
Right.
So sometimes a battle that you stepping into and you trying to fight, the person that you trying to redeem or help recoup from where you've helped take them, they're not ready for it. I remember one of the dudes that was my little cousin, one of my closest friends. I remember getting my life together, right? I remember doing everything right and changing and getting myself together. And I went back to get him and I said, "Yo, I found something better than everything we ever been doing." You know what he looked at me and said?
What's that?
"Nigga, it was you that taught me how to get this money.
Right.
It was you that taught me how to live this life. And now you want to come with this new story, this new wave, and all this new stuff. This
Yep.
what I do. Miss
Yep.
me with that."
Nope. Here's the thing. You remind them where the fuck they came from. Like, listen, there's a way you can word things for people to understand what you're saying. I taught you how to make this money. How good you doing
Yes,
right
sir.
now? Hold on.
Yes, sir.
How good you doing right now? You doing real good, right? I taught you how to. Now, guess what? I got a hustle that'll take us out where you don't have to get in trouble because of this hustle. So if you believed me before, believe me now. If not, then I guess that's their way of telling you that you need to walk away from that person. You have to. Everybody has to get tested if you want to be in my life. Facto.
Bro.
That's exactly what I said. It just like, you know what I mean? Anytime somebody says something, there's an idea that pops in my head. What's another way to get that task completed? If you really truly believe in that task, what's another way to do it? Because we don't all think about the same ways. We don't all always think we always done everything it takes. Because it could be the easiest way that you never even thought about. Damn, that's so easy. I could have did that and I didn't have to go through all that struggle. It takes us as men to have these conversations and not be able to dismiss each other because we don't believe in what we believe in. We believe in the same shit. We just want to do it our way, which this shouldn't be a problem. It should not be a problem. We're men at the end of the fucking day. And when we want our children to be like we are, better, I mean, but with what we had to go through, but they don't have to go through it, let me build that for you. But I want you to feel like I want to make it at least safe enough for you to know I got your back, but hard enough for you to know that you got to work for this shit. I'm going to protect you no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether it hurts you or not.
Right.
So I got to go through that. I got to go through that myself, so I can understand it and then teach them. That's what I say. And I don't care how anybody takes this. The way I see it is the ultimate sacrifice. So I say this all the time to people. I will hang myself on a cross for you. So you can see the bigger picture. I say it to my kids. I say it to my loved ones. I say it to who I'm dealing with. I say it to people I care about. If they do slacking on something and I feel like I can do something to help them, I'll say exactly that. I'll hang myself on the cross for you. I got you. I'll learn everything it takes for you not to go through the pain and get you on board with that. Because I see that if you did have that, you will strive. So I'm willing to be around long enough for my kids to understand in the long run, if they see it or not, that I always had their back. Even if you thought you were struggling, I'm watching you. You needed to struggle. But I got my eye on you. So if you go to that struggle where I know you can't take it, I'm right there to make sure you understand why it is and to help you get the fuck up out of it. I just can't see my family struggling. My mother never did that to us. She never gave up. So that's what I was taught, to never give up on your family, no matter what they do. You got to love your family. Like people need to start loving their family bloodline like they love. And they'll understand what building a community and building a family structure is. Nobody loves their families no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible. How you not love your fucking family?
But these days, blood don't make you family, though, Savage.
It don't, but because you know what? Everybody has the same thought process. We're all bred to think that you shouldn't be. Listen, I love you. Once a person, we all have it in us. Once a person see that you love them more than them, you can see the ones you can dismiss and put to the side. But the ones who act up, but you could love them more than them, and you show them that, they will follow suit. Trust me. That motherfucker did this shit for real.
I know. Hey, y'all. I love y'all, man. I'm hurting, boy.
I hear you, brother. Handle business.
Oh, man. I love y'all, man.
I love y'all too, man. We've been about this.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Yes, indeed.
I'm hurting. Boy.
That's serious, man. Like that's the problem. We know who we love. We know who we know who's there. So we need to sit up there, and whether you're blood family or not, if we start trying to care for people more than they care for themselves, and you show them, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get the picture. Somebody's always giving up on somebody. That's why we can't survive. You're so quick to give up on somebody. Everybody's lazy as shit, don't want to put the work in. Because they don't want to put the work in themselves. They don't want to develop their minds to a point where they see somebody that they see something in somebody that they don't see in themselves. They're not willing to work with nobody. You're willing to quit a job for a person that's nagging you. This is my motherfucking money. Like, this is what I'm saying. And it all goes down to like that sensitivity. Like, we are strong people and we act like we ain't shit. One simple word could change a whole person's life to the point where they want to kill themselves. What type of life do y'all really want to live that type of life? You want people around you like that? I'm saying, strength is power, man. Like, listen, people need to understand.
This is what you
have to have a conversation with anybody, no matter what you say. The bigger picture is, I care for you. What we gonna do about this?
Yeah, you could do all that. I care for you. You can say you're willing to do anything for your family, and making sure they're right with you. But again, your family see everything that's going on around them when pertaining to disloyalty, and disloyalty, and it's like it seems like disloyalty is like it's a good thing. Just like being a female that sleep around today is somewhat of a good thing. They call them video vixens. They call them. They call them doing what men do, so I can do it. It is all this other stuff that they indoctrinate us to believe that it's fine to do. Everything's good. You can do whatever. And that goes with family values and stuff like that. These people our people would take advantage of us. This ain't grandma mom that when she kept everybody together, and Paul made sure people respected grandma. Grandpa made sure people respected grandma.
The community made sure you respected grandma.
Yeah, you like, you know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't, you ain't messing with his big house, because they said Big Mama house, but Big Mama got that from Big Papa. She got that house from Big Papa. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
we don't live in those days though. That's the problem.
Yeah. That's what
and
I'm
we're
trying
not going back to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, and it's not going to go back. But we can do our part. We can do our part. We can try to put old school mixing.
Everything is old school. Yo, everything we do is old school mixed with new school. We know that ain't gonna go back directly the way that there's no more wives sitting in the house waiting for old Papa coming home. We're gonna dinner. No, it's not.
We know that. Yeah.
But we can still live that type of life if we fucking work together. Not the same way. We can get what each other want. There's a different type of communication going on nowadays. And what it was is, before it was, a man say what it is and a woman shut up, you got to do it. You know what? I'm not about that. I don't mind you saying something, just don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Respect, don't be stupid. But I don't mind you speaking your mind, giving me some advice. I need people to talk. I need people to look at what's going on. I can't look all around me 24/7. You know what I'm saying? So if I got people on my side that can see something I don't see, I need to hear about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they do give good advice when you ain't seeing shit, because when you being straight, no emotion, maybe one day you had to be emotional to see that point of view, and they got your back. They can see that shit, but everybody has to be on each other's side.
Right.
That's the thing. Ain't nobody better than nobody. Everybody just has their part. Play that shit. I don't give a fuck. Even when you friends, you got a part to play as my friend. If you want to continue to be, and so do I. There's rules to follow when you're in a relationship. There's rules to follow when you're in a friendship. There's rules to fucking follow if you want to have what you want in a relationship or anything you're dealing with. If you could go to your job and follow their rules to get where you need to be so you can eliminate most of them rules, do as such for everything.
Right.
But that's not for everybody though. I agree with you saying.
You're right. You're right.
Because some people's rules is, hey, if I get money with you, I mess with you. If I don't get money with you, I don't deal with you.
But
if you don't fear me, I don't trust you.
I have rules and you have rules. We have to come to a common ground of our rules. You know what I'm saying? Or we can't fuck around. Plain and simple. As a friend, I don't like you. Like, as a friend, my friends know that when I'm on Hennessy and like just something stupid, when I'm on Hennessy, they don't want to go out with me when I'm on Hennessy. Say it that way, right? So when I'm out with my friends, I won't drink Hennessy. I like to drink Hennessy. When they're not there, I won't. You know what I'm saying? So that's respect. These are the rules, because I have to risk my life with you because you're a crazy motherfucker on Hennessy when you're with us. So I have to think of my friends. I won't drink Hennessy. That's something stupid and simple. But that on those lines, you have to respect each other for what y'all want in a friendship. Come to a common ground and respect those rules. That's how you stay friends. You want to stay married, y'all got to have rules and respect each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
no, but you got to know your position.
Real talk.
You got to know your position in life. You ain't nobody better than nobody.
Yeah, but these kids and these young people these days.
You are who you are. You build, you say what, you present who you are. If you phony, that's who you get presented as, a phony motherfucker. If you an asshole, that's who you going to get presented as. Be the asshole you want to be. But if you want to be a good person, be a good person. Don't play no fucking games. Plain and simple. You ain't got to be like nobody else. Just be real. How hard is that?
That realness is hard to get out. Being honest, being who you are, is hard today because everybody lived this fantasy life that what they saw on Instagram.
Why it's hard though, manhood, is because nobody. The only reason why it's hard, manhood, it's the only reason why it's hard to feel that way. Is because nobody believes in themselves anymore. It's false. The false belief in yourself is false.
Yep.
Because if you really look at yourself, you are building fucking bullshit to block your fucking misery about what you don't believe in yourself about.
Absolutely.
And everybody who really wants to look at it, hold themselves accountable, they will automatically know that I'm rolling, not holding myself accountable for shit. And I'm playing fucking games.
Yeah.
Until you realize that, you'll be able to go to that person, hey, or somebody goes, you am I fat? Yes. They start crying. I'm sorry that you're crying, but you know you're fat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm your friend.
Be lied to.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If you want to be lied to, you can't roll. You cannot roll with me. Because you're gonna be hurt every day. Every day. Every day.
For real. But for the people, just to let them know our specific topic. Our topic is about with the 50 Cent thing and with his son, in our opinion, with his son and how that relationship is that you do whatever you can to stop that to happen and everything. We all had our own views on how we will stop it and how we will how we will try to maintain things and stuff. But all in all, we need to understand that a lot of these we when you raise a child a certain way, and if you want a child to be raised a certain way, we got to take accountability. We got to understand that child is going to be an adult one day. You could do whatever you please that's going to keep your sanity, but at the same time, you have to know, be a realist and understand that child might not be the person that you want him or her to be. So this is the bottom line of all things. Either you be a patient person, or in ways of trying to mend relationships, or you be a person that mend the relationship, from the distance. It's either way you're doing something, and that's the thing. But again, do not be surprised on the outcome of anything.
I definitely agree with that.
Yep, absolutely.
But you know what? I'm very transparent, and I'm this moment right here, me and Mr. Manhood, right here. I'm now picturing something totally new for Scum TV. I think that we need to do this ourselves, me and you. What do you think about that?
What you mean?
What we was talking about, news, but I want it to be like in a way that we got a couple things going on besides just one thing. I want the morning part. I want the entertainment part. I want the Black Power part. You know what I'm saying? We like the news.
Right. No. I see what you're saying. Things that we can definitely do that, man. I've been saying that.
Yeah, but I was trying to I'm handling so many different shows.
Yeah.
Learn at the same time.
Busy man.
So, but I'm getting impatient about me, like you being doing your thing on the show, because you the dude. You know that everybody's waiting for you to say what you got to say.
Crazy.
Yeah, they keep talking about it, and I can't wait. So I think I'll get it done, just me and you. Until we
man.
Sure. We hold it down. So guess what? We're gonna do a quick one. Are you available next week?
Yeah. You know my schedule.
All right. So what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, me and Unapologetic, gonna start something new on Scum TV. And we're gonna hold it down. We're gonna do some big things this week to get everything on point. Next week, we got you.
Yeah.
Green screen.
You see
that green background. We need that green background.
Oh yeah, I'm getting that on the 17, guys.
All right, because me and my graphics, I love them.
Yes. I'm getting that on the 17.
Show up. So that being said. So that being said, I appreciate everybody that came through to watch The Crown talk again. We appreciate every single one of you. I love all my dudes far and wide. Everybody I rock with, from any panel I've been on. Much love to everybody. Even though we all move our separate ways, it's still love to everybody, love and respect. Hopefully, we'll work things out. It is what it is. We're all men at the end of the day. We need to remember that. It is what it is.
Yes,
So that being
indeed,
said,
man.
the crowd talk, we're going to stay men and create better men out of the men that's already men. Let's get it.
Yes. Peace, people. Love you.
Peace and love to everybody, man. Please join us next week. All the topics are thorough.
Hey, drop
Man,
real
coming
quick.
up with the last one. He hitting them right now.
For sure.
So
Hey, drop.
also, we can't forget. We can't
His game
forget.
suck.
This is my motto. We don't go nowhere yet. Chat lives matter to me, no matter what. We would not be a show without y'all participation in the chat, or even y'all just chatting amongst each other. You know what I mean? This is growth. This is building a network. This is building a community. This is building love and people who look. K Boogie and Drunk are good friends. They're good chat friends.
Hell
You know
yeah,
what I'm
they
saying?
be
That's
getting
what
it
we
in,
do.
boy. I love it.
We build relationships. We build people. We try to take our negatives and make it a positive. And no matter what you believe that we all are supposed to communicate and add to each other's lives.
Yes, indeed.
That being said, let's give a shout out to K Boogie. Let's give a shout out to Drunk in the building. Let's give a shout out to Lady Novoa in the building. And I see the pretty lady Sherelle that never shows her face, but she does now. Very pretty Sherelle in the building. We got
Sherelle, what's up?
Sherelle. Let's see. Lady Novoa, K Boogie, Drunk. We got Lit Libra. It's Lit Libra. You just kept saying Little Libra. It's Lit Libra.
Oh, Lit Libra. Okay, lit. Oh,
Libra.
yeah, okay.
And big shout out to
It's
the
alcohol.
Lockhart Perspective. Miss Lockhart, I appreciate you for stopping through. We were actually yakking up earlier, and I'm still down for that show if you down for it. And we also got to give a shout out to my man Headlines with the Voice. I put all the links in the chat for y'all to check out these people and their podcasts and their panels and their channels on YouTube.
Yeah, we're going to be going hard this weekend. Yes, indeed.
We going hard this weekend.
Yes.
I salute you, my brother.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Church and 7 for popping in. It was a great show, fellas. We got plenty more to come.
Yes, indeed, man. Let's get it.
Holla back, y'all. Hit that like button.